Michael Porter Jr. should have it all right now. Standing as a 6'10" small forward with a 7-foot wingspan, he is an incredibly talented basketball player who was born in the perfect era. Porter Jr. has the height to knock down shots over almost any defender. He has the length and athleticism needed to throw down when he drives to the rim, and he was born with the type of basketball IQ and ruthless scoring mentality that is needed to become a big-time player in the NBA today. The thing is though, none of Michael Porter Jr.'s talent mattered the second he gained the label major injury risk. Because after a back injury during his very first college basketball game at Missouri, Michael fell from a potential top 5 or even number 1 pick in many scouts' eyes all the way to the 14th pick in the 2018 draft. These injury concerns were serious. Reports came in that Porter Jr. had suffered nagging injuries during high school that might lead to a larger overall problem. With that said though, at this moment, Mike is not only healthy, but in his own words has said, to be honest, going into this season, I didn't really expect myself to be able to play at 100% if I was to come play. But like the way I feel now, it's leaps and bounds beyond where I thought I'd be at this point. I feel so good. I feel like I'm a better player than I've ever been. Those are big time words from an injured player, but they are also the words of a man who has recently been showing off in Nuggets practices. Because at this moment, Porter Jr. is cleared to play full time. However, Denver did ease him back into things, which meant the majority of his practice this season came in the form of drills such as playing half-court 3-on-3. In these drills though, his teammates did not take it easy on him at all. In fact, Torrey Craig flat out said, quote, "I go at him. I challenge him all the time. I like to keep him humble, but he's going to be a great player," which is a huge theme around the Denver Nuggets and Michael Porter Jr. in general. Everyone involved in the organization has watched Mike come back from his injury and now have made it very clear that the player they are watching has some elite level talent. One example of this comes from another teammate, Thomas Welch, who after practicing with Porter Jr. this season said, "I've never really seen anyone quite like him. For a guy like that coming off an injury to be able to play as fluidly as he can, it's incredible to think he's still recovering and is still able to play so well. After 3-on-3, he'll be throwing down through the leg dunks like it's nothing. He's a physical specimen with supreme skill. Once he gets healthy, he's going to be a problem." Those words have to excite both Denver Nuggets fans and just fans of the NBA in general. I know I personally cannot wait to watch Mike play, but in order to show you guys why I feel this way and why a lot of people are excited about the return of Michael Porter Jr., we need to first take a step back and look at how he got here. I mean, the hype had to come from somewhere, so why not start off in his childhood? Because to put it in very simple terms here, Michael Porter Jr. was born to be a basketball player. His dad, Michael Porter Sr., played Division I basketball. His mom, Lisa, played Division I basketball and was a high school basketball demigod. That is not an exaggeration. Lisa averaged 58.7 points per game her senior year. 58.7. That sounds like something Kobe's daughter is about to do very soon. Let's all hope getting back on track. Having superior athletic genes like this was obviously a huge advantage for Michael growing up, but it takes more than just natural talent to become the best. And early on in Mike's life, we could see that he was willing to put in the work to fulfill his potential. As he remembers, quote, "When I was 3 years old, my dad started training me in the backyard. Every day we would go out into the backyard for an hour or so and shoot for a while. After a couple of years, I knew that it was something I wanted to do for my whole life." Adding on to this, Michael Porter Sr. agrees, as he said he's always had that something. When he started basketball training, he started falling in love with basketball, and over time, he developed serious work ethic. He wants to be the best. Getting him to put in the time it takes to be great has never been hard. It was this work ethic combined with his God-given talent that made Michael stand out over seemingly every opponent he faced, which meant by the time he got to high school at Father Tolton, not only was he a starter on varsity as a freshman, but he also absolutely dominated with averages of 28.3 points and 10 rebounds a game. He was just 15 15 at the time, and it was at this point that Michael was officially ranked the 3rd best freshman in the world. The crazy thing was, though, he still had a lot of room to get better, because remember, the goal was to be number 1, not number 3, and so Mike ramped up his workload even more, and as both his talent and his body grew, the highlights he began to create became flat out ridiculous. What also was ridiculous was his production. During the summer, Michael could be found destroying lesser players alongside his AAU teammate Trey Young, and eventually the highlights and stats piled up high enough to place Porter Jr. either on the top or near the top of everyone's recruiting list. And of course, eventually his senior year of high school did come around, and it was in high school where Mike would solidify his label of future NBA star. Because after transferring to Nathan Hill High School to play for Brandon Roy, Michael Porter Jr. would eventually end up averaging 36.2 points and 13.6 rebounds a game for his senior year. He did this on the way to leading his team to a 29-0 record, a state championship, and the #1 ranking in the country. This success also led to a lot of individual accolades, such as the Gatorade National Player of the Year, as well as an ESPN ranking of #2 in the class of 2017, and more importantly, a Rivals.com ranking that gave him his ultimate goal, the #1 ranking in all of America, which was, of course, unbelievable. Almost no other basketball player in the world achieves 1/10 of that success in their entire lives. However, as if this wasn't enough, the summer after his senior season, Michael would continue his run of elite play against the best players in the world for his age group. Because in the McDonald's All-American game, Porter Jr. would take the court with 7 of the 2018 NBA Draft's top 10 picks, and it was Mike who would be named the game's MVP, as in just 21 minutes he managed to lead the game in scoring with 17 points, along with pulling down 8 rebounds. Continuing on here and moving away from the All-Star game atmosphere, Michael was also asked to play for the Team USA Junior National Select Team against the World Select Team, and again, this time playing with 5 future top 10 picks on his team alone in Jaren Jackson, Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter, Colin Sexton, and Kevin Knox. It was Michael Porter Jr. who outshined everyone, as he was again named the game's MVP after leading Team USA to a win with 19 points and 4 boards in just 23 minutes. This was against a very talented world team that started future lottery picks such as RJ Barrett and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This was a game that shows just how good Mike can be when he's at his best, because before the injuries, in a game that was full of future NBA talent, it was Mike who proved to be the game's most valuable player, and it was Mike who showed that he was ready to be that top guy. That's the mindset and production you need out of an NBA alpha dog. That is the mindset and production that eventually leads you to be the projected #1 overall pick in ESPN's first mock draft for the 2018 college basketball season. Unfortunately, though, as we are all aware, just when Michael Porter Jr.'s life was going pretty much perfectly, he suffered a horrible back injury. This injury happened in the very first game of his college career, and it basically caused him to miss his only season in college, and it also was the reason he fell to the 14th pick. But with that said, missing his first season, as long as his injuries don't flare up, could be a blessing in disguise, because in Mike's eyes, watching a full season from the bench is, quote, a huge advantage. Just being on the bench, watching them play, seeing where I'm going to get my shots in the offense, and just learning the NBA game. Now, of course, in recent years, we have seen players like Blake Griffin and Joel Embiid miss entire seasons with injuries before they had ever played in their first NBA game, and both agreed that sitting out an entire season obviously made them much more prepared for their rookie year. And yes, both of these players also grew to become NBA stars. Unfortunately, for every Blake Griffin and Joel Embiid, there is a Greg Oden on the opposite side of the spectrum. However, from everything I've read, it looks like Michael Porter Jr. is going to be returning this summer, and I think he is going to be making some absolutely massive headlines. I think he's going to be pretty much unstoppable in Summer League, and I've just gotta say, if I had to bet on a player making their way back from an injury like this, I'd bet on the guy with an incredible work ethic who just happens to be 6'10" with a knockdown jumper and 40-inch vertical. Maybe not 40 inches, but you can be sure. Michael Porter Jr. is going to make a lot of noise in the NBA very, very soon. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Man, I cannot wait to watch Mike play. Honestly, with how good the Denver Nuggets were this season without him, we could be looking at a potential championship team if he does develop into an all-star level talent. That is 100% a possibility. Again, it's just gonna be very exciting to watch this happen. If you guys are new to the channel though, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this, for NBA what ifs, for NBA conspiracies. Basically, if you love basketball, I think you'll love this channel, and if you subscribe, you won't miss a video. As for everyone who's already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You guys are awesome. We all know it, and as always, have an awesome day, guys, and cue that music. By the way, if you're still here while the music is cued, here are 2 videos I think you are going to love watching. All you have to do is just click on either one of them on the screen right here. And other than that, guys, again, have a great day and peace.